welcome back to EVE Online with me, Mark from DadX, and let's get into the final round of these career missions. Right, the first one is going to give us a blueprint for a shuttle. It'll be the shuttle appropriate to your race, and we need to build it. We've got some titanium already, so I'm going to buy a little bit more just to make sure we have enough. Shuttles can be useful ships. They're very fast and nimble, and with some changes proposed in the game, which will make them much harder to tackle or catch in warp bubbles, if they actually take place, then they might become much more popular and perhaps more valuable, who knows. Anyway, we bought some titanium, so we've got everything we need right here. That's just warning us that if we had to move the cargo, we haven't got enough room in our ship, but we don't have to take anything anywhere. We're just going to right click on the blueprint, click use a blueprint. There's our materials right there ready to go. There's the duration, just under 5 minutes. It will cost us 531 ISK and we'll make one. There you go. We'll be back to hand that in when that's completed. Right, let's see what the next mission is. We'll get all that closed up. Advanced military. It wants us to go and use a civilian status weather fire on a bad guy. It does warn us there not to use it by accident on NPC ships because that will get you shot, which is handy advice. Apart from that, you've seen all this before. There's a 10-kilometer range on that. You just get it within 10 kilometers of the target, lock it up, run the web, and the mission will be complete. I may not even show you me doing that one just to save time. The next mission actually is offering us a proper status weather fire, and we need to take out a narcotics warehouse owned by the Devout to complete that one, so that should be a bit more of a fight. And next up, we've got the business career mission. It's giving us a blueprint copy to make some ammo. The reward includes a sigil, which is a hauler like a space truck. Again, that will be the hauler appropriate to your race. So we're going to want to build some of that. We could, I think, just buy this stuff, but we'll build it. Why not? We don't need much materials. We can buy a little bit of stuff here. We've got some titanium. So we'll just go to the market, scroll down until we find one for sale at the station we're at and buy that. The price is quite reasonable there. We don't need much of anything. So for instance, if you look at the price charged here in the station for this isogen, well, we've got 52 there at the trade hub. All the way down here, somebody is selling it at the station, but look, right down here, 200. So well over the odds, but we only need 8, so it's not actually much ISK, so we'll go with that. So well done him. He's found a way of well overcharging for something in a reasonably acceptable way. So we'll buy that and we'll get the blueprint running for the ammo. So I'm going to see you out in space, and we'll go and take care of this narcotics warehouse. Before you go, do remember we need to do 10 runs of this blueprint to get the 10 laser crystals that we need to complete the mission. So buy 10 times the amount it says on the blueprint, because on this copy each run produces 1 ammo. But we'll have to wait, because as the game is telling us, our skills are not sufficient to run 2 industry jobs at once. I'm going to train up industry to the next level. The skill you actually need is mass production. Each level of industry makes a 4% time discount on the production run itself. Once we get to level 3 on industry, we can train mass production and we can run simultaneous production jobs. But for now, we'll just let the first blueprint run. It's only a few minutes, and then when we get back from killing the narcotics warehouse, we'll get this one running. We'll just make sure, of course, we've got the right module fitted this time for the mission. So that's the status weather fire. I'm sure we can use the real one. We don't have to use the civilian one. Off we go. I'm going to go and web this guy up and complete that mission without showing you, because you know how to do that. I shall see you as we enter the narcotics warehouse. So we're just going in through the acceleration gate. And remember, all we need to do is destroy this structure, the narcotics warehouse. We'll kill a couple of these rats on the way in, but it's not a priority to stay and fight those guys. Some more will spawn. You can stay and fight them and clear them all if you want. I probably do, just for a laugh. But once the structure is down, the mission is complete and you can just head back to base. Narcotics Warehouse is the name of a 3 out of 10 dead site in the main game, and dead sites and their ratings just tell you how hard the site is. Now, good the loot could be. And a real Narcotics Warehouse, if you're lucky, could drop you over 100 million ISK. And I have done videos on how to do those in quite low skill ships that don't cost you much money. So they're worth a look at. But we'll look at that stuff once we've completed these career missions, and we'll get this Amar Alpha out and about, living a real life. Okay, we're docked back up. We've handed all those missions in. The last mission of the military career chain is to go and finally take out the pesky Devout. We've got a warning there that if we need to go and repair and come back and finish the mission, that is fine. If you get low in armor and shield, you go to the nearest station and you can get your ship repaired out, go and finish a mission. Missions don't end if you leave the site. It is something to bear in mind, especially early days when you might take 2 bites to get something done. If you go to a player-owned station, those repairs will probably be free. The reward for this mission is another Punisher. And also bear in mind, because we're in our Punisher, we're going to be quite OP. I'm not expecting us to need any repairs at all, apart from those our armor repairer gives us. And then we've got 10 out of 10 of the advanced military career missions right here. We need to go out and kill the terrorist leader. The reward for this mission is lots of cash. We get given a coercer, a destroyer, when we accept the mission. We're not going to need to use that yet. Our Punisher is more than up to the task. So rather than flood you with too much info, we'll just go right ahead and use our mighty Frigate. So here we go, we are warping in to take on the Devout. Now this is going to be our first example of a multi-room mission or site. So there's a gate here we can't activate. You'll get a message if you try to. We've got to kill everything in the room before we can activate the gate. Occasionally there'll be a specific ship on a site that triggers the gate, but that's quite rare, and you'll see that in the guide if you look up that site. But here we just need to kill everything, and in our Punisher, as you can see, this really isn't any kind of challenge for us at all. There's quite a lot of ore up here if you wanted to come and mine once you've killed the rats, but we're just going to get on with the mission. So that room's clear, into the next one. And as I said, this Punisher, compared to where these career missions kind of think we are, we've got a much better ship than they expect. This ship will take us into level 1 missions. We'll run some little sites with it. We may change the weapons to beam lasers. They're a bit more longer range. So on some sites you want to stay away because you'll take a little bit less damage. It will take longer to kill the rats, but we'll look at those kind of details when we get out into the big wide world, or should I say big wide universe that is New Eden. So we're just getting through this room again, kill everything. There's no loot really. You could check all the wrecks if you wanted to. I've had a little bit of a look around and found nothing particularly interesting. There we go, flying straight through the scenery. 2 more guys to get, and then we can get through this gate. You can see how little damage we have taken so far. Bouncing off the scenery, losing all my speed there. It's probably about the worst thing you can do. In fact, you can see how much damage we took just in that little bit of time. So there's a little demonstration for you. We'll call it that, shall we? Don't let yourself get too hung up on the scenery. It can be very damaging if it happens at the wrong time. Right, we're into the next room now. In fact, it's going to be the last room, and we shall have our final showdown with the Devout. Now what we find here, when you get a little message that you'll see obviously in real time, is that there's a status tower that will slow us down until we've destroyed it. Once you've destroyed the tower, the Devout himself appears in his pod. And all you need to do is then take out the Devout. And the mission is complete. You don't have to kill everything up here to do that one on this mission. The frigates here are a little bit tougher than what we've seen before, particularly the Stolen Navy frigate, but again, nothing we can't handle. You'll notice we are now in armour and repairing, but we never get at all low on armour. We are never in any kind of danger, and I'm going to kill off the Navy ship, and then we're going to take out the Devout. I'm just going to pull away from that frigate and just show you that once we've killed that guy, the Devout is gone. He is no more. We don't have to kill the other dude. The mission is complete. We have completed our career missions. We're graduate. Just the advanced stuff to do now. So let's get that mission complete. All we have to do here is kill the terrorist leader. Now this is the toughest ship we've had to fight, and his 2 mates aren't too shabby. But again, we will be fine. Now we're in an armor tank ship. We're not going to worry about getting low on shield. It's when we get low on armor that we need to start thinking about leaving, but we're not going to. In fact, the terrorist leader now has a warp disruptor on us, so we couldn't leave if we wanted to. So we're in this fight until we finished it. He's also webbing us. If things got a little bit horrible, then start heading away from the terrorist leader as fast as you can. But to be honest, we're not going to have any problems. Look, have we got low on armour? No, we haven't. Now, he's the tankiest ship I think that we've had to deal with so far. Do remember to use your web to slow down the enemies as you shoot them, because it helps you do the damage. I'm going to take down the extra 2 guys. You don't need to take down the extra 2 guys, but I do want you just to pay attention that of all the career missions so far, the terrorist leader's wreck actually has some useful modules in it, which will be handy for some fits. At least some of them will be. So we'll grab those and we'll go and dock up. We have finished. We've just got to tidy up those industry tasks and we're done. We can just get the exploration missions done. Okay, so we're docked back up. Our run of production of ammo is finished, so we can hand that mission in. There you go, balance in the books, 10 of 10 complete. Another sigil, we have a pair of trucks now actually. And then we have an industry mission. Oh, I forgot to hand in the shuttle that we built. There you go, that's done. We hadn't run out of time to get the time bonus there. We've got one mission left here. It wants us to go and pretend we're mining until a pirate comes out to engage us, and then kill the pirate and get the production assistant out of his wreck. This is basically baiting 101. So we're going to do that. We've just got to make a little adjustment to our ship so we can pretend to be miners. We need to do a little bit of mining and then just kill what arrives. So here's the fit screen. We're going to break the group of lasers. We're going to put the ammo and the laser in the cargo hold so we've got them handy. We're going to fit a mining laser. We'll fit the proper one. The civilian one would fit on there, but as you see here, we're being told we haven't got enough CPU to do that. We can fix that very easily. In this situation, we'll just turn off the web, see if that's enough. No, we need to save more CPU yet. We can do that. And I'm going to turn off one heatsink. That gives us enough spare CPU to turn that mining laser on. The rat we need to kill is very puny. We don't need to do it much damage. Out in the real world, as it were, there are other ways of resolving that situation we shall look at when I look at ship fitting in more detail in its own little video. But for now, that's all we need to do. Off we go. So what we're basically doing here, as I said, is baiting. We're just going to go and sit out here looking like we're doing something boring and innocuous and aren't interested in any adventure. But as soon as somebody turns up to give us a little bit of an investigation, we shall turn on them and attack them. It's a tactic I use in game quite a lot. I play quite passively these days, to be honest, in that I don't go out and really hunt and attack people too much unless I'm in that mood, but I'm more than happy to get somebody to come and attack me and then give them a fright of their life and maybe even beat them. I find that more fun myself. But anyway, here we are. We're just mining. We're going to mind our own business. Miney, miney, mine. Until someone turns up and we're going to kill him and steal his stuff, or in this case, rescue the research assistant. And here we are. Here's the rat right on cue. We'll lock him up. Just start shooting him. Again, you could come back out to this site and do quite a bit of mining in your own little private space if you wanted to. But we haven't looked at mining in any detail. There is a video linked below that will tell you all about how to get started in mining in your wonderful venture. And I mean that quite sincerely. I love ventures. They're one of my favourite ships in the game. Especially early game. They're safe and they're fun and they're cheap. Put it that way. Anyway, we're done. All we've got is one more mission left on the industry chain. I'm sure it's just going to be build something. Let's have a look. Here we are, docked up safe. Let's hand in that mission. Done and dusted, as they say. Right, indeed. Next mission is to build ourselves a Tormentor, which is another combat frigate. And we've given the blueprint to do that. This is the mission that gives us the second sigil I spoke to soon earlier. We could buy one, but they're quite expensive and we don't end up with the ship, so that's not an option. But just to give you an idea of how much frigate's going to cost you, no one's even selling them here. So we're definitely going to build one. So what I'm going to do is check on the blueprint down here, see what we need. I'm going to buy everything that I can in the station, and we'll see where that leaves us. There is a buy all button here, but do be a little bit careful using that. That's not an option here because not everything's available in the station. Zydrine we're going to need to go and fetch. That's what it said it didn't have, so I'm going to check on the market. Everything else I've already bought here. I'm a man, I know how painful it is just to watch people shopping for no reason. I'm going to find the cheapest price close by. Going to right click, location, set destination, and that's it. We're just going to nip over there and grab that Zydrine. Then we can get the production running. It's just a matter of time, and then we are truly done. And here we are, we're back from a shab with the Zydrine that we needed. So we're just going to run this blueprint. One run, we've got everything we need in the item hangar. An hour and a half. We can get on and do some other stuff, go and have something to eat, whatever, while that's doing. So, we have completed all of the career missions apart from the explorations career section. But let's just have a little look at where we are, and I was asked about how you organise the hangar. So, let's just have a little look at where we are. On the ISK front, if we look in the wallet, we're up to just under 6.5 million. I have spent a little bit, we'll look at that in a minute, as you can see here. Our accumulated ships now count 2 sigils, 2 ventures, 2 punishers, 1 executioner and 1 coercer. We shall be looking at these ships in a bit more detail in another video. But we've certainly got a good start. Item wise, we've got a bit of a mishmash. But what we're going to do, I've been asked about how we tidy up in the hangar. So we'll have a little quick look at that now. And we're going to use containers. And they come in all shapes and sizes. If you simply go onto your market screen, and I've already done it, just type up in here in the search bar container search. Some of them are very, very big. Enormous freight container, for instance, is 250,000 cubic meters. Some of them, such as the giant secure container, the ones that have secure in the name, if you look, they take up 3,000 square meters of space. If you had one of those open in your ship, packaged are only 300. When they're ready to use, they're 3,000 cubic meters. But they hold 3,900 cubic meters. So they're actually a way of increasing the cargo capacity of some of your ships, but they're also a very good way of tidying up your hangar. And all you do to do that is go to your item hangar. We're going to assemble a container. It's down here. We can give it a name. We'll just call it ammo. And then if we want to just take what we've got here, what we consider to be ammo, drop those into that box, and they're in there. And then you just do that as and when you want to or need to, and into divisions that suit you. I usually do high slot, low slot, mid slot, ammo, bits and bobs, etc, etc. But that's how you make folders in your hangar. This is the sigil. This is the hauler that you get given as an Amar character. You'll be given the one appropriate to your race. They're very handy things to have to get things around. All I did to take this over to the shops, we'd already got these 4 expanded cargo holds during the missions. They put our cargo capacity up to 4,200 cubic meters. Each level of the skill, Amar Industrial, or whichever race you happen to be, will increase the cargo capacity of your hauler. As you can see, you get 5% bonus to capacity. You also get 5% bonus to ship inertia. That's how quickly it can align and get into warp, which is handy. These haulers that you get given are the smaller, faster versions, and I much prefer them, to be honest, to the larger, slower ones. Anyway, that's where we are. Missions all completed here, apart from the exploration missions. We'll be back in a video to look at these themselves. They need to be looked at in a little bit more detail, although there are only 5 of them. So I hope this has been helpful. Leave us a like if you've liked it. Subscribe please if you want to stay in touch. Linked below are various different videos that are going to help you out as a new player in various aspects of the game. All comments, suggestions, questions are very welcome. Leave them down below. And for now, take care of yourselves, enjoy your eve, take your time. Remember, even is believing. Fly brave, fly safe, and for now, goodbye.